It spins. Ah, so it starts with R?
Stop right there. You went through a lot of effort to arrange this meeting. But before we go any further, answer my questions. Who the hell are you?
Why don't you tell me who you are first?
In a world full of suspicion, treachery, and hunters, we're the synth's only friends. We're the Railroad. So answer my question.
I followed the Freedom Trail looking for the Railroad. I'm not your enemy.
If that's true, you have nothing to fear. Who told you how to contact us?
Dr. Amari told me how to find you.
Very interesting. Last question. Why are you here?
I found a Courser chip. Can your people decode it?
You have what? This is not a joking matter.
I didn't know we were having a party. What gives with my invitation? Oh, I see you invited the Courser killer. Nice.
Deacon, you're late. You're saying this intruder actually killed a Courser? Single-handedly? Oh, that'd give even Gloria a run for her money.
Newsflash, boss. This guy is kind of a big deal. If you're done interrogating him, you might want to show this Courser murdering machine a little courtesy. Just a thought.
I owe you an apology. Anyone who kills a Courser is good in my book. I'm Desdemona, and I'm the leader of the Railroad.
Oh, yeah. The little riddles and the decoder ring trick really makes it hard to find you.
Anyone that wants to meet us is under surveillance as soon as they follow the Freedom Trail. If you were a threat to our organization, all you'd find here is an empty room.
Des, we need to let him in. He's got an intact Courser chip, for God's sake.
That violates our security protocols.
To hell with that. He killed a Courser. There's no way he's working for the Institute.
We're letting you into our headquarters. You're the first outsider ever to be given this privilege. We'll discuss the details about your chip inside.
Hey.
I'm listening.
Nick.
There's something bothering you?
Your thoughts?
I don't know if anything's still living down here, but I bet it's not going to be happy to see us.
I wanted to make sure things were okay between you and me.
Hard to say. You know, some folks are just out for themselves. Some want to help those in need. Jury's still out which camp you're in.
Oh, nothing.
All right.
We having fun yet?
Don't try anything, stranger.
Decoding a Courser chip is a very delicate operation. A million things can go wrong, the least of which is losing the data. Fortunately, we have the right man for the job.
Hey, Dad. You need something?
Tom, our visitor here has a Courser chip.
Whoa! For real? Oh, man, it's been ages.
Right. Some ground rules. Tom can get you the code, but once he's done, we get the Courser chip.
Fine. It's yours.
All right. Tom, make it happen.
All right, little Courser chip. Let's have the circuit analyzer take a crack
Don't
at
try
you.
anything, stranger.
We're in. Chip accessed. Just poke the analog connectors a little. What? Oh, man, don't crash. Hold it together.
Don't try
Remember, here
anything,
go-
stranger.
Here it comes. Encryption algorithms. All right, we're still running. Oh, man. They've added more decimals to the last cipher. This is gonna be... Come on, baby. Show me that pattern. Where is it?
Hey, don't try
Wait.
anything, stranger.
They're using the same logarithmic function as the key generator.
Did she make it to the border?
Still waiting to hear from Randolph.
Got you, you institute
Heard
bastard.
the
I
line of
got you.
resistance near Concord.
It's all
Well,
friend.
the whole safe house
Come
is
on.
dark. Could
Show
be
me that
weeks
sweet
before we
face
get a
number. Come on,
debrief.
baby.
I just want to know if it was...
Yeah, we got it.
Don't
We
we
got
all?
the code. Let me load that onto the holotape for ya.
Good work, Tom.
Hey, yeah, but I'm not sure our luck will hold up next time, Des.
Start working on the rest of the chip. And you, I'd love to work with you more. Let me know if you're interested. But to be crystal clear, if you use that data and discover anything involving the Institute, you share it with us first. Otherwise, our relationship will be in jeopardy.
There's more going on than you know. Trust me.
Hey,
Everyone's all, you've been hitting the chems way too hard. But I got my eyes open. I see.
If we're going to be dealing more with each other, I need to make sure that we're on the same page. You know what a synth is, right?
Yeah, I know all about them.
Good. The Institute treats synths as property, as tools.
Go on.
So we seek to free the synths from their bondage. Give them a chance at a real life. I have a question. The only question that matters. Would you risk your life for your fellow man? Even if that man is a synth?
It depends on the circumstances.
There's no middle ground with this. Would you risk death to save a synth or not?
Could you elaborate?
Answer with your gut on this. Your heart. If you had to put yourself in danger to save a synth, would you do it?
No, probably not.
No shame in that. Every person needs to know what they're willing to die for. It might be best if you kept your distance from us. Not for our sake, but for yours. The Institute wouldn't hesitate to torture and kill you for what you know. Deacon can show you out.
hey,
I'm all ears. Looks like you got something to say.
I think we ought to part ways, Nick.
Sure. Suppose I'll head on home then. What a different world it'd be if folks just listened to the wisdom of the past.
So you answered the big question and took a pass. Dez is a hardliner, a live and die for the cause kind of lady. But the truth isn't so cut and dry. Listen, are you interested in the railroad? Learning more? Maybe joining?
I don't really know.
Let's see how much common ground we got then.
Hard to look at it like this, in such disrepair.
You change your mind about us? Interested in learning more?
I thought she turned me away, though.
It's complicated. Would Dez like every Tom, Dick, and Harriet to be here only to help synths? Yes, absolutely. But we live in the real world. And here, we can't turn down help. We need every able body we can get. So, you interested?
Sure, I'm interested.
All right. Good. Let's see how much common ground we got. I get you don't want to take a bullet for a synth, but you... willing to brave some danger to stop the Institute and their nefarious schemes? I can't believe I just said that.
What harm has the Institute actually done to people?
Starting with ancient history, they tried to take over the Commonwealth. Came a hair away from succeeding with their synth army, so there's that. But in the what have you done for me lately category, kidnappings, wiped out a settlement or two, and nasty bioengineering experiments. Diseases, FEV, the usual. So, you willing to fight them?
I haven't made up my mind yet.
Well, let me break it down for you. Every one of us believes in synths getting a fair chance, but some agents aren't really risking their necks for that. They put their asses on the line to hurt the Institute, and the Railroad's all right with that.
Understandable.
Everyone here wants to help synths. You should too, if you join us. But if you're risking your life for something else, hey, as long as you're in the trenches with us, we're good. Sales pitch over. If you want to walk away, here's your chance.
What do you want from me?
I got a job. Too big for me, just perfect for the two of us. You help me out, we turn a few heads, and then Dez invites you into the fold. Then, if you get into a bind and need some help, your buddies in the Railroad got your back.
What's the job?
So, up front, the only thing I'll say is that it's going to be a wild and dangerous ride, but probably nothing new for someone like you.
Sign me up then.
Perfecto. Let's meet up at the old freeway outside of Lexington. I'll fill you in once you get there.
Make it jittery.
That's one way to get the coolant pumping.
Who's out there?
I swear I must be going crazy.
Who's there?
Keep your eyes open. I think this
That's a
asshole
real
gives
man.
us stealth.
What?
cat will make you jittery. Huh? Hearing shit. Nothing. At least it sure as hell looks that way. Huh? Oh, man. Please don't be ferals again.
Feel that? It's called fear.
What's that noise?
Excuse me.
Never take a hit at Jad again, I swear.
That's it. Deacon? Is that you?
Like the disguise? It's Wastelander camo. This is my pile of garbage, asshole. Back off. Good, right? You're lucky I didn't do one of my face swaps, too.
I almost didn't recognize you. Excuse me.
Like the disguise? It's Wastelander camo. This is my...
I almost didn't recognize you.
That's the point. So, about the job. The railroad's only recently been using the old North Church. Our old base was underneath the Slocum's Joe. We had a pretty sweet setup until the Institute found us.
That sounds really, really bad.
It was a disaster with a capital D. The survivors didn't have time to grab anything. So we're getting something important we had to leave behind.
Let's find it then.
We gotta do one thing first. We got a tourist nearby.
I want this one's head.
So I'm looking for rail signs. Symbols we use to send messages to each other. If you like that, we got signs and countersigns, dead drops, even a secret handshake. Alright, maybe the handshake never caught on. Anyway, the tourist should have a trail left for us. Here we go. Rail sign. The arrow in the center indicates a direction. So our tourist is up ahead. Let's keep going. Got another rail sign. Right there. And another. We're probably close. See the plus in the center? That means there's an ally nearby, our tourist. You take point on the conversation. Look, no matter what he says, you just say, "Mine is in the shop." Trust me.
Hey there.
Once your friend gets here, how about we have a chat, huh? Oh, thank God. You have a Geiger counter? Do you have a goddamn Geiger counter?
Mine is in the shop.
Who the hell is he? HQ said they were sending one agent, not two.
Sorry, I'm new. He's just showing me the ropes.
All right. The wall is my witness. I thought I was dead. It's about goddamn time you headquarters bastards got here.
Tell me what's going on.
I signed on for some light recon, but that little Slocum's Joe of yours is crawling with goddamn chrome dome synth sons of bitches. The front's fortified to hell and back. They place mines all over the goddamn place.
I appreciate all you've done.
I hope it helps. I really do. As soon as it's safe, I'm getting the hell out of here. So if you need anything else, better ask soon.
Deacon.
Well, isn't Ricky just a ray of sunshine? You think he's telling the truth?
I think he's hiding something.
So you don't trust him. First rule in this business is never go against your gut. If he's lying, could be the front entrance is full of lollipops and rainbows. My guess is it's worse than he's letting on. So we're going in through the escape tunnel instead.
Let's move out.
You lead us there, pal. I got you covered. We're in. The back entrance is safer, but be ready for Gen 1s and 2s. So it's time you learn why we're here. We're retrieving a prototype developed by our good Dr. Carrington.
What can you tell me about the Gen 1s and 2s?
The synths didn't start off as nigh-perfect copies of human beings. The Institute had to work up to that level of hubris. Gen 1s and 2s were stepping stones along the way. The Railroad's not fully united on how we feel about them.
What's there to be divided about?
Everyone wants to liberate the Gen 3s, the human-looking synths. Some of the synths in the Railroad, like Glory, think we should help earlier models too. But Gen 1s are basically the same as, well, a Protectron. So the line gets muddy. Do we defend AI rights? Terminals? Hell, turrets? Anytime it gets brought up, fireworks. All the old arguments flare up. The upshot is Glory and some others won't run missions like this.
Let's find a prototype then.
Together with you, I like our odds. First step is to override the security lockdown. Well, the terminal's on at least. I'm gonna feed it some passwords. No. 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 Aha! Missed one, you cocky bastards. The prototype's deeper inside. Someone let... Derail sign here. This one means danger. Yeah, we know. You poor dead bastard. We know.
Whoever or whatever you... I knew you were out there. Us, there you are.
Wait, see the box in the center of that rail sign? That means there's a cache nearby. Looks like Maven managed to hide something before... Well, you know. Look around.
Stealth capabilities. Fascinating.
Tinker managed to turn on the defenses. Barely slowed the coursers down, but hey, probably saved some lives.
They were wise to flee.
Movement detected.
Sensor anomaly detected. Maintaining depth. Shutting down.
Another active terminal. We didn't have time to trip the defenses up ahead. Power them up, and we can give our friends a little surprise. Hey.
Engaging hostile life form. Is someone present? Fellow synth verified.
Attacking.
Hello?
There we go.
Attacking human.
I am the victim of...
Bye-bye, Gen 1s. Prepare to be shocked. Not every Slocum's Joe has a massive tunnel complex underneath it. We're entering a secret Defense Intelligence Agency research lab, a place that never officially existed. It's called the Switchboard. The prototype is locked up in the heart of the facility.
Movement detected. Combat initiated.
You are damaging that critical failure.
Hostile sensor reading detected. Appears to be nothing. Perhaps my sensors need calibration. You must be terrified. Gone. Contact detected. Possibly. By order of... you.
Commencing. Life form.
Where's that play button?
Carrington, Stanley, Salus Grote, Suprema Lex.
Open says me.
Nice.
So Tommy Whispers didn't make it out. He died protecting our secrets. Let me see. There. Tommy would want you to have his hand cannon. Don't let its size fool you.
I appreciate it.
May it serve you as well, heck, better than it did Tommy. Grab Carrington's prototype. You turn... There's an elevator at the end of the hall. Should be a hell of a lot easier fighting the chrome domes on this side of the minefield.
By order of the... You must be...
End of the line. Just power up the elevator.
Going up. Floor.
I didn't think I'd ever see this place again.
Hello?
Combat initiated.
got what we came for. Let's split up and meet back at the catacombs.
I went through all of that, and I still don't know why.
You want to know a dirty little secret? Yeah, neither do I. The railroad works like that sometimes. Who knows? We could have just liberated the doctor's coffee maker. See you soon. And the new guy patched me up, put me on his shoulder, and blasted his way through the rest of the complex. Synths everywhere.
He said he wouldn't risk his life for the cause.
Hello, words. I'm actions, and I'm speaking awfully loud.
Point taken. Deacon told me you single-handedly secured Carrington's prototype, disabled a minefield, and wiped out 100 Gen 1s. So is any of that true?
Every word he said was true, and then some.
If you didn't have the prototype...
Every word he said was true.
If you didn't have the prototype...
Every word he said was true, and then some.
If you didn't have the prototype...
Every word he said was true, and then some.
If you didn't have the prototype...
every word he said was true, and then some.
If you didn't have the prototype, I'd think... A response would be appreciated.
every word he said was true, and then some.
A full 100. I can't even imagine.
See? Just like this, boss.
I was expecting Deacon to grab a full team, including Glory, to secure that prototype. But instead, just the two of you cleared out the entire switchboard.
You'd be insane not to.
He certainly made an impression on Deacon. He's never spoken about or lied about. Anyway, welcome to the railroad.
Glad to be aboard.
It seems we're very lucky to have you. So you're in. Now I need to know what to call you. Secrecy keeps us alive. Code names are a part of that. So what's yours?
Have any suggestions?
No. It doesn't work like that. Your life, your name, your choice.
Call me Bullseye.
From what Deacon says of your fighting skills, Bullseye seems apt. Your first official order is to deliver Dr. Carrington his prototype and see if he can use another pair of hands. But first, it's time to meet the rest of the gang. The location of our HQ is one of our most tightly guarded secrets.
What is it?
So be careful coming in or out. You never can tell when you're being watched. This is it. It may lack the amenities of the switchboard, but it's safe, and we've taken precautions not to be surprised again. Things are chaotic right now, so there's plenty for you to do. Listen up, everyone. This is Bullseye. He did the switchboard op with Deacon. He's a full agent, effective immediately. I'm counting on each of you to show him the ropes. Feel free to welcome him aboard. That is all.
Ah, it's our newest agent.
Desdemona told me to give you this.
An extraordinary feat to recover this, but that's hardly the point. Without a lick of training, and us knowing hardly anything about you, Des has invited you to join HQ. It would have been nice if she had consulted with her second-in-command. But what's done is done. Since you're here now, we might as well put you to work.
Cut to the chase.
One of our field agents, Old Man Stockton, needs help with the runaway synth. H222. So headquarters, as always, puts out the fires that others can't be bothered to put out themselves. The paranoid old bat won't even tell us the problem. He insists that we get our intel from a dead drop.
Sounds like an important mission.
It is. After Switchboard, we're so short-handed I have little choice but to throw you into the deep end. The dead drop is a mailbox with a rail sign on it. It's a common means of communication for us, so keep an eye out for them. When you make contact with Stockton, he won't give you the time of day unless you give him the proper countersign. The current sign is, do you have a Geiger counter? And the counter is, mine is in the shop. Please tell me Deacon taught you that at least.
You can trust me with this. I'll get it done.
Just don't bollocks it up. Stop. Use the escape tunnel in the back to get there quicker.
What the? Glad you're with us.
protect, and serve.
Wasn't sure I'd see you again. You managed to get what you need?
I have the code.
Suppose I shouldn't be surprised. You did get rid of Kellogg after all. Not too much of a leap to take down a courser. How'd you manage to get it decoded?
Does it matter?
No, you're right. It doesn't really. The point is that you got it. You're not the only one who's been busy. I did the best I could. From memory and things I've overheard through the years. Came up with some schematics for you. Wasn't easy. These hands are ridiculous. Fine motor skills have gone to shit. Here's the simple explanation. You need to build a device that will hijack the signal the Institute uses to teleport coursers, and send you instead. You know the craziest part of the design? That classical music station. That's the carrier signal for the relay. All the data's on harmonic frequencies. You've been hearing it all along. I want to be clear that this isn't my area of expertise. I was bioscience, not engineering or advanced systems or anything.
Your confidence is staggering.
I'm just saying, I can't guarantee it'll work. But if you can build this device and make use of that code, you should be able to override the signal from the Institute's relay. Can you? I mean, can you build it? You have people that can help. This is a lot for one person, even you.
I got it covered.
Good, good. Because you've got to make it in there. For both our sakes. And don't you forget our agreement. I've helped you as best I can. If you make it in there, you find that serum. It's my only hope for ever being normal. So you find it. Now go on. Take these and get to work. You do whatever it takes. Call on whoever you know to help you.
Awful lot of rads around. We should get out of here.
Got a favor to ask you, kid. I know it's silly, but I need a chair. Something with a nicer fit for these old bones. Can you do that for me?
Sure. Be glad to help.
Thank you. I used to be quite the adventurer when I was younger. Now, these old bones just can't keep up.
Mama Murphy.
Aching too much to talk too long. I should sit down.
Hey.
You need the sight? It's telling me Mentats will give us the right high for another insight into your destiny.
Here you go.
Ah, that's it. I can feel the sight opening up. I see you surrounded by outstretched hands. Everyone needs your help, kid. Everyone wants you to see things their way. And whether you want it or not, you're gonna have to decide which ways of life keep going in the Commonwealth and which end. Don't mind me, kid. The chems are just acting up a bit. I'll be fine, eventually.
I need your help with these schematics.
Oh, yeah? What are they for?
These are plans for building a signal interceptor to get inside the Institute.
The Institute? Why in the world would you want to mess around with them?
They kidnapped my son.
Damn. That's some bad business. Even for them. I'd like to help, but you know my situation. I've got to deal with the immediate problems first. There's something I need to ask you. I guess you know I'm one of the last of the Minutemen. But I never really...
I figured...
Have you heard of...
No.
I thought everyone in the Commonwealth were the Minutemen, but I was with Colonel Hollis's group. We were the only a few of us. We never found it.
As long as you don't...
I'm not about to give up. That's why I'm talking to you.
Hey.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Good. Good. Well, don't worry. I'll be right beside you.
That's quite a promotion.
The leader of the Minutemen has always held it. Our last leader was General Becker. The one good thing about now it's your job to make. I've got something a bit different for you.
Right.
Our scouts have found a promising spot. The trouble is that once you clear it out, before you know it, you wanted help earlier. Some kind of machine to get it.
The Institute uses
teleportation.
Sure.
If anyone can make heads, we've got to show people the Minutemen can...
Codsworth.
Shall I accompany you, sir?
I'd like to trade some items.
Of course.
You can fix just about anything. Guns, computers, people. Just gotta have the right tools.
Preston thought you might be able to figure out these plans for me.
Sure thing. Let's see what you've got.
Here you go.
Wow. What a mess. Looks like, encrypted RF transmissions. Okay, so that gets routed through... What the hell? Teleportation. This is some pretty crazy shit. You sure it's for real?
It's real. I got it from an ex-Institute scientist.
Seriously? I didn't know you could be an ex-Institute anything and still be breathing. Anyway, the eggheads never think about the nuts and bolts of actually making something work. But, looks like it's all here. Yeah, I'm gonna need some time to study this thing. The handwriting's pretty hard to make out. But, you can get started on what he calls a stabilized reflector platform. It'll need some pretty high-grade metals, but it's basically not that different than the lining of a jet engine or something like that.
Can you give me a list of what I'll need to build this platform?
Yeah, sure. Here's a list of what you'll need for the first piece. I'm pretty sure we've got all that at Sanctuary, if you want to build it there. While you're working on that, I'll get busy figuring out how to actually build the rest of this thing. Keep in mind, I can already see this is going to take a crazy amount of juice. Like if you had a spare nuclear reactor handy, we could probably use it. And it's going to be big. So find a nice open building site with lots of power available. How's it going? Did you find a good spot to build your sig?
Yeah, ready to build the rest of it.
Good. I think I got a handle on this crazy contraption. Here's a list of 3 things that made... I'll meet you over at the building.
Uh-huh. Thanks, Sturgis. I'll get right on this.
Good deal. One thing to keep in mind while you're... I'll see you over at the building site. Good luck. Once we got everything in place, we'll have to hook it all up to the same power grid.
Sturgis.
Everything looks good on my end. You ready to see if this thing actually works?
Let's do this.
You sure? Okay. Your part is simple. Just step onto the platform. I'll start scanning for an Institute signal to lock onto. Then, I fire her up and we see what happens. I'm ready when you are. Okay, hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. Oh, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh. Yeah, we better hurry. And don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration. Okay. Scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF. And... got it. Hold on to your butt.
Hello. I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator. I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean. Is that really you?
Who are you?
Sean, where is everyone?
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Sean, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
What's going on? Father? Father!
What do you want me to do, Sean? What can I do?
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here. Help me!
Who is Father? Where is he?
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me. Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Father? That's your name? Your title?
Father is my unofficial title. It's what I've come to mean to the people of the Institute, just as you mean to your son, to Sean.
Just help me understand what's going on here.
I promised answers, and answers you shall have. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
It's really you? After all this time?
Yes. It's true. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
Hell of a story. But I guess it does make sense.
I'm glad you're willing to accept the truth. It's quite encouraging. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being, walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
I think I see where this is going.
Then perhaps you already understand why it was necessary for the Institute to acquire me. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. but it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
"60 years. So much time. Wasted."
I know. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
What's going on here?
Please try and keep an open... Let's start
Right. Father?
Father is mine.
Just...
I promised answer.
Sure.
But I need you. You have traveled. It's good to find. I am.
It's really you?
Yes. In the vault. But then you learn. Is it really so? And here I'm glad you're... At that time, scientific... So they follow.
I think I see where this is going.
Then the Institute in... Plenty of that was... Even in their attempts to shield themselves. But then the I was exactly... I am their...
60...
I know. I know you must...
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. I've gone over the record.
Collateral damage? Is that all she was to you?
I forget that it's been such a short time for you. I don't have any direct memories. And I've had my entire life to cope with the loss. Has it always been easy? Of course not. But I've done my best to move on and live my life. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if, but. What matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Kellogg.
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done.
Right. You knew the man was a...
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the... The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's Institute technology prologue. He never failed. I won't lie. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So you're in...
I am the acting director of the Institute.
They need your help, Sean. It's rough up there, to say the least.
Oh, we've tried that. Surprised? The Institute once tried to help create a stabilized Commonwealth government. It ended in bickering, infighting. It was a disaster. No. We look after our own now. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some. I've been a part of some. And now, after all these...
Yes, that's what I want.
I know. I know you've been through some. Forgive me. There is much to be done.
I'll do whatever it takes. It's worth it.
I am glad to hear. The Institute is now yours. You want to introduce yourself to the division heads.
Uh-huh.
And finally, Dr. Lee...
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans. If you ask me, they were built pretty well.
I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see
It's
the
an
full
honor
term
to have you here, sir.
There we go. All set. Unit
Father has done remarkable things. I would not exist were it not for him.
Again. Of course. We're all looking forward to working with you.
Is it true Food Supplement 77 has been
You're
discontinued?
Glad you made That is correct.
That was my favorite one. Can't we keep it a little longer?
I will be happy to forward your request to the Bioscience Division. In the meantime, please feel free to enjoy one of our other nutritious and flavorful food supplements.
I want Supplement 77.
I am sorry, sir, but that supplement is no longer available.
Useless machine. Do we really need all these coursers roaming the halls?
The commissary is always open. Would you like some processed sustenance packets?
What have you got?
I can offer a range of nutritious and great-tasting food supplements. Food Supplement 7 is very popular for its spicy flavor, and Food Supplement 91 is our newest offering.
Let's see what you got.
Please ensure that your dietary requirements are being filled.
Have you had time to examine my latest reports on Batch 274?
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations at Warwick. He's eager to get that going, so I've had to put everything else to one side.
I wonder how the Warwick family is doing. Young Wally must be close to 10 years old by now. It's remarkable that any child can survive for so long up there, don't you think?
I try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves here. And those people are the last remnants of a dying past. It's best not to dwell on the subject.
They're still people, and they're suffering. We can at least admit that it's regrettable. After all, how can we hope to redefine mankind if we can't even hold on to our own humanity?
Well, that's a question best left to our colleagues in the robotics division.
Yes, well, I suppose you're right.
Dr. Carlin's doing some amazing things with our genetically engineered crops.
Doctor.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
Like what?
I was just about to explain that. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of study such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
Yeah, I can't imagine anything more exciting than fake gorillas.
Speaking only for myself, I find them fascinating. Of course, I might be a little biased. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is. But I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
I'm an outsider. Would there even be a place for me here?
Even if science isn't your passion, there are plenty of ways to contribute. Our projects sometimes require an agent who can work on the surface to observe and gather information. From what I've heard, you are both fearless and resourceful. I think you'd be ideal for that kind of role. In any case, I imagine you'll want...
You mentioned medical care. I might need that from time to time.
In that case, you'll want to introduce yourself to Dr. Dean Volkert. He's our top biologist and also serves as the Institute's resident physician. Dr. Volkert works in the infirmary. Just pay him a visit whenever you need to. You won't find better medical care anywhere else in the Commonwealth. I'll promise you that.
Dr. Holdren's synth gorilla project is showing promising results. All this must be a little overwhelming for you.
Remember to keep unnecessary power consumption to a minimum. Don't recharge unless your primary levels are below 2%. Also, if you haven't patched your navigation software, do so after this meeting. The last thing we need is more synths bumping into walls. All right, that's all for now. You can resume your duties.
Remember, health and happiness go hand in hand. A clean and healthy work environment is essential to maximum productivity. Remember to practice good sanitation habits at all times. Greetings, sir.
You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he? Well, you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these unannounced security sweeps of yours. Ransacking my quarters in the middle of the night is totally unacceptable.
I'll pass along your message, Doctor.
See that you do. Good to see you. Feeling well today?
Excuse me.
Scanning unknown identity. Clearance confirmed.
I am seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads together.
What now?
Did I turn off the interferometer?
Package upgrades I asked for. Maybe I should take some courses with me.
It's an honor to meet you, sir.
Please don't. There's enough friction as it is between us and pretty much all the other departments.
You going soft on me?
Excuse me, Doctor.
So, here you are. Justin Ayo, Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity.
I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Why? Don't you trust me?
Oh, it's nothing personal.
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider.
The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation, so
It's only natural to take extra precautions, It's nothing personal, I assure you. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
Why would synths want to escape?
Synths do not want. They might look like human beings, but they're machines. As to why they're escaping, that matter is currently under investigation. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. Well, I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
I hate to break it to you, but your Courser wasn't all that tough.
Then it's likely the unit was defective. It's rare, but faults can occur from time to time. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
You mentioned that coursers undergo special training. Tell me more about it.
The SRB constantly monitors our Gen 3 synth population, looking for specific traits. Those who show tenacity, fearlessness, and independence undergo a rigorous training regimen. We teach them armed and unarmed combat, investigative techniques, psychology, and mechanical skills. Those who pass a final evaluation become coursers. The rest have their memories wiped and return to their former duties.
Always be vigilant. We have many enemies.
Nothing to report, sir.
No visible reaction to the K-14 compound. We'll start the next trial. The dosage will be mixed larger.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Excuse me, Doctor?
Ah, it's you. You're here then. Yes, I know who you are. We all do. While I'm sure Father is very happy that you're here, I do hope it doesn't interrupt our work.
Well, that was productive.
What is it you're working on?
Advanced Systems Special Projects. You've seen the boy, Synth, already. We've been hard at work on him for quite a while now. Oh, before I forget, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
Thank you.
I'm sure that'll come in handy.
Given that the relay is the only way to access the Institute, handy is something of an understatement. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Now, unless there's something else, I really do need to get back to work.
I'd like a progress report on your division, if you don't mind.
Taking your new appointment in stride, I see. Very well. We've shifted resources off of other projects, like the child synth, to focus on Phase 3. I'm hoping that the above-ground efforts are successful. I understand those depend heavily on you.
Oh, for goodness sake, I can't find my notes anywhere.
All done. You can return to your duties.
When are you going to tell me about this mysterious Phase 3?
I hope all your needs are being seen to. You just let me know if they're not.
Call this a clean floor? Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and
Welcome to the Institute, sir.
Operating at full capacity.
Father has done remarkable things. I would not exist were it not for him.
The
Bet it's pretty
Institute's a
boring
big
down here
place.
compared
It
to
might
up
take
there.
a while to learn where everything is.
Hi, Doc.
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I guess I just wasn't ready to die yet.
Oh, that's understandable. The will to survive is the most basic human instinct. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
On board with what?
The Institute, of course. Sean implied you operated on a level, if not equal, then at least similar to the rest of us. Curious. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
I'm good for now. Thanks.
Goodbye, then.
Theoretical limits are made to be broken.
Now that you've had a chance to see the Institute firsthand, what do you think?
You've got technology here that I never dreamed possible. It's amazing.
I'm glad you can appreciate what we've accomplished. None of it has been easy. Ultimately, all our knowledge and resources are focused on a single goal. The goal is best summarized by our motto: mankind, redefined. Unfortunately, no advancement comes without occasional setbacks. As remarkable as our synths are, they can be dangerous without proper supervision. The superior synth mind and body attempting to wrestle with something approaching free will can be a recipe for chaos.
So it's like every other wonder gizmo ever.
Have faith. Let me show you how we deal with such problems. A rogue synth has taken over the Raider gang at Libertalia. His memories have been erased, and his identity altered. He believes he's a man named Gabriel. Under his leadership, the Raiders have taken many innocent lives. I've dispatched a courser to Libertalia. I'd like you to join him and reclaim...
Right. We'll bring that synth home.
That would be best for everyone. Now you should get moving. Many people are in danger, and a delay could cost lives.
I'm busy.
Here's that holotape you gave me. Full of Institute data. I hope.
Well, all right. I'll start digging into this and see if I can make heads or tails of it.
The Institute isn't our enemy, remember.
I know, but it never hurts to be prepared. Just in case they decide the Commonwealth isn't big enough for the both of us. All the good stuff on here is going to be encrypted. So the first job is to see if I can crack it. After that, well, I'll have to see what I've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe.